Amari Cooper has officially entered the chat involving the Brandon Aiyuk trade rumors because his name has been mentioned as a reported trade candidate for the Browns to land the 49ers wide receiver, and he chimed in on the whole conversation. So let's start with the reported trade that came out from a 49ers beat reporter at NBC Sports in the Bay Area. The Browns get Brandon Aiyuk, the 49ers get Amari Cooper, a second-round pick, and a fifth-round pick. That's a pretty good haul for just one player. Now, Amari Cooper took to his Instagram and posted this on his IG story. LOL, I wouldn't mind at all. I just want to spend the next couple of minutes deciphering every single word here because that is what the Browns fan base has been doing over Twitter and online over the last 12 to 18 hours. I don't really know what to make of this. And I think anyone that tells you that they can say definitively one way or the other what to make of it is lying. Like, they're doing their best to think if they were Amari Cooper, how would they feel about being involved in the trade rumors and then going to San Francisco for Aiyuk a second and a fifth? When in reality, the only person that can answer that question is Amari Cooper. So I'm not going to subscribe to anyone that puts out there, Amari Cooper has to be pissed right now. You don't know that. You're not Amari Cooper. And the same goes for people who are going, guys, relax, it's no biggie. Coop's not mad whatsoever. You don't know that. You're not Amari Cooper. So I don't know what to make of it because only Amari Cooper knows how he feels about being involved in these trade rumors. Maybe he looked at it as like a pro, like a professional. He's like, you know what? From a fairness standpoint, that's actually a pretty even deal for both sides. I wouldn't mind that at all. I get to go to the 49ers. They were close to winning a Super Bowl last year. Maybe he looks at it with a little bit of emotion. I've been the number one receiver in this franchise's history the last 2 years. I was looking for an extension. I got $5 million added in incentives, and then you're trying to trade me away a few weeks later? To hell with these guys. He could be looking at it from a number of angles. But don't let anyone convince you one way or the other that this is how Amari Cooper feels about it and this is how you should feel about it. We don't know. That's the reality. Now, I will add, it's not a great look for Andrew Berry if Amari Cooper is truly upset. I'm not quite sure if Andrew Berry put a hole through a wall when he found out that the trade was leaked, what he offered, because he doesn't want to have a disgruntled employee in his locker room, and the elephant in the room that the Browns were trying to trade him to get another player at his position, someone they deemed, an upgrade. Like, that may be something that doesn't sit very well with Amari Cooper, and if that's the case, Andrew Berry has a fire to put out. I don't know how he does that. I don't know if it's a steak dinner. I don't know if it's, hey, how about an extra $1 million in incentives just to pretend like that never happened? That's probably not going to happen. But Andrew Berry right now, if everything is true, like that report is true, and Amari Cooper is frustrated, this is not a great situation. It's not. And I've been an Andrew Berry stan. I've been defending Andrew Berry. I think he's one of the best GMs in football. This guy had this team winning 11 games last year with 5 quarterbacks starting. That just speaks to the talent that they had at other spots on their roster. We've gone into 2 drafts back-to-back years with no first-round draft pick and not needing to find a starter in the draft because the roster was so loaded from previous drafts or free agent signings. Like, Andrew Berry has done an incredible job. He has put together the most talented roster in Cleveland Browns history. But this could be something we look back at and go, that was a mistake. If Amari Cooper is really unhappy and frustrated and displeased with the organization trying to trade him away before the season starts, and it got out, which it did now, if that's all true, it's not good. I think we can all admit on that frontier. Now, when I think about the leak for a second, I try to think who it came from. We got a couple of parties in play. No way the Browns leaked it, right? No way the Browns would voluntarily tell a reporter, hey, this is what we tried to give up to get a Brandon Aiyuk, and we tried to trade Amari Cooper. I don't think that the Brandon Aiyuk camp would leak it out. Why would they want it to be known that they had a really good offer from the Browns in terms of an extension and fair trade compensation going to the 49ers, and Brandon Aiyuk said no to it, which that's also kind of been loosely reported that Aiyuk shot down the Browns extension offer. So that only leaves one player left in the game. the 49ers. And it can make a lot of sense why the 49ers would leak it. One, they want Niners fans to know, hey, we got a pretty good offer from the Browns for Brandon Aiyuk. And so if it really does come to we have to trade him, just know we could have gotten a really good deal from Cleveland, but Aiyuk refused to sign an extension there. Oh, and by the way, that just goes to show how difficult it is to work and negotiate with Brandon Aiyuk. We had a trade in place, the Browns had an extension in place, and Aiyuk still said no. So now you can see what we've been dealing with over the last couple of months. He won't take a contract from another team. We can't get a good trade in because he won't go to that team. He's a headache. He's an absolute basket case to work with in these negotiations, and that's why we leaked this deal. Like it makes a lot of sense for the 49ers to leak it. So I hope that all of this can kind of be water under the bridge, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit concerned, right? I mean, I want to kind of stick my head in the sand and go like, it's no biggie. Amari Cooper, he's going to be a pro about it. He knows it's just business, and they're going to go out there and they're going to ball and they're going to play football, and it's not going to affect him at all. I hope all that is true. But, I mean, we remember like just Baker and OBJ, there were some, divides going on. There was OBJ Sr. or OB Sr., I guess, posting a absolute hit piece on Baker Mayfield, which led to OBJ being released like 24 hours later. So we've been down this path before where we hope emotions do not divide a locker room or get in the way of football, but that's not always the case. So I really hope Andrew Berry knows what he was doing and has Amari Cooper somewhat in the loop of what the truth is versus what's been reported, and that's not going to lead to an unhappy Coop, but I sure hope we don't have to deal with a bit of a drama case going into the season. So what's your concern level over Amari Cooper's Instagram post? Scale it 1 to 10 for me in the comment section. This whole video, the theme has kind of been like a lot of hopeful and wishful thinking because that's all we can do right now. You and I are not Amari Cooper, or maybe you are Amari Cooper, but no, like, don't let anyone tell you, like, don't worry, guys, it's a 1 or it's a 10. Like, we don't know. I find myself at a 5. I'm right in the middle, right? I don't know if Amari Cooper is livid right now. I don't know if Amari Cooper is just like trolling to troll the fan base and watch everyone get worked up. And he's like, it's no big deal. I wouldn't mind at all. I've always loved San Francisco. I always loved, walking around, homeless people poop on the street. Like, no clue. So I put myself at a 5. All right, before we get you guys on out of here, we're going to be live depending on when you're watching this, in a matter of minutes or half an hour or a few hours for this Browns-Packers preseason Week 1 matchup. So come hang out with us. I'm super excited to watch Jameis Winston play. No Deshaun Watson, pretty much no starters, maybe an exception here or there. But Jameis is always like a comedic element in football. There's always going to be some exciting play that happens with him. So I can't wait to see Jameis play. But make sure you come hang out with us for our watch party. Packers at Browns, Week 1 of the preseason. The Muni lot is already popping right now. Cars were lined up before the sun was up. That's how you know football is almost back in Cleveland, but it's not back until Week 1 against the Cowboys. All right, time for our Dylan Sutcliffe pick a card time. We've got producer Reed hanging out with us for the rest of the day. Reed, which card do you want to go with?
Ooh, let's go with 10 of diamonds. That seems like a very usual pick it's usually that card for some reason, like a 10 of diamonds or around there. So I'm going to take my chances.
I feel like that was an example of when you have to reach a certain word count on an essay and you just kept going with, this feels like a good number just to get to 500 characters.
I'm just trying to speak it into existence.
Okay, I like it. I'm going to go with Queen of Clubs. Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts. All right. I'll see everyone in a little bit. Go Brownies today.